All right. Hey everyone, this is Jerome Shaw,
I'm Janet Lucio.
and we're coming to you today to talk about what we eat on a daily basis. What do we actually consume on this liquidarian, breatharian life, this pranic living? Yeah. So there are a number of things, namely like juice, soup, smoothies, but we're going to talk about a few of them. So yeah, what's something that you like to consume?
I think the main thing you have to wake up with gratitude. It's not just about what you're putting in your body, like liquids or foods. It's also like what you're consuming in general.
Yeah.
So what you watch, what you read, your thoughts. Your thoughts are everything. So filling myself with gratitude and appreciation for even the smallest things is where it first starts for me.
Definitely. What goes in comes out. What we tune into, we turn into. So whatever channel that you're on is going to be what you see in your life, you know. Our life is a representation of what's going on in our mind.
Even if things are going a little not so good for you, you would say, you know, you can always find something. You can always find a long list of things, actually, if you really just try. You know, you might think, oh, well, this is bad, and this is bad, and this is bad, but don't think about what's bad. Think about what is good. Think about other people in this world, like how hard their lives are, and be grateful for your situation. There's always so much to be grateful for. So
yeah. I have a shirt that says gratitude mindset, and one day I was wearing this shirt to a gas station, and somebody walked out the convenience store, and I had no idea that this was like a CEO, like a successful businessman. But he just asked me. He was just munching on something, and he was like, "So you grateful, huh?" And I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm grateful. It was like, okay, how many days in a row you've been grateful? And I had to think about it, because there's a saying that, what if all you were left with tomorrow, all that you had tomorrow, was everything you were grateful for today? Just think about that for a second. So yeah, so that is something that, is good to put in.
But getting to what we actually consume, like as far as like juices and foods and things like that, I like to have smoothies. He's not really big on smoothies.
I like them from time to time. It varies. It varies.
I love smoothies. It's convenient. It's easy. It fills you up, but you don't feel like gross. And it's like a treat. It's like a treat for me. It's like a ice cream. It's like, it's like a treat.
Yeah. For me, I like coconut water. I like a lot of coconut water, actually, and also some veggie broth. We've been having like faux veggie broth sometimes.
Real quick, coconut water is really important because you can drink just plain water, which we can go in a whole different video about waters. But water is to help kind of flush the body, plain water. But if you drink coconut water, it's also giving you more nourishment. Like it has, what does it have? It has lots of good stuff. Electrolytes, like minerals, vitamins. It's also like giving you things that plain water does not. So maybe drink plain water sometimes, but coconut water is really good for you, and it tastes good too.
Yeah, I just like the way it tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes me feel good. It doesn't weigh me down, and it really does taste good to me. And yeah, it does a lot for my water as well. But that might be another video.
That's a whole other video. Because as you know, there's like, we talk about alkaline, distilled, like spring water, tap water. That's a whole other video, which we can go into later.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So coconut water, smoothies, soups, different soups. We've been actually having a lot of fun making raw soups. Raw vegan soups like that you can make that are very easy to make and quick too. And they feel so good going into your body. It's like your body's just thanking you, for these living foods. It's
very affordable. It's very quick and easy. There's not even a lot of mess to pick up. You just wash the blender. That's about it. Maybe a spoon. And I think before we went on this liquid lifestyle change, we were consuming a lot of raw vegan things. So I wanted to mainly stick with eating raw, even in a liquid diet. But sometimes it's not as convenient, or I don't know, it's just easier to just grab a box soup and just heat it up. But, you know, just giving ideas. Like, it doesn't have to be all raw, but it is really good to implement, like, as much raw food as possible and less cooked food.
Yeah, yeah. The closer to the sun it is, the closer to a living food, the more alive you're going to feel.
Well, it was living,
Yeah.
you know, but whenever you cook something, it cooks out the life force in it.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying it's still okay, but better to have the raw because it hasn't been cooked. The life force hasn't been cooked out, and the life force, there's more life force energy in there for you.
Right. And speaking of cooked, when we say cooked, we're talking about like over the stovetop, you know.
Heated soups.
Heated soups. Like, we're not talking about like putting things in the microwave. We haven't done
no.
that. We haven't done that.
No. When you microwave things, it changes the molecular structure of the substance, and it's harmful to your DNA.
Yeah.
It's harmful on a very deep level.
You're talking to somebody who used to eat ramen. I used to put the cup of noodle soups, and it said it on the thing, on the label of the styrofoam. It said, "Do not microwave." For years, I would put the water into the soup, up to the level, throw it in the microwave, beep, beep, 3 minutes, and just leave it there for 3 minutes, just radioactively infusing my food. Right? And then all the chemicals from the styrofoam going into the food. And I ate like that. So it's like what we said, you know, on another video. It's like we have to give ourselves a pat on the back. We have to shout out the body and thank the body for keeping us alive. You know what I mean? Against all odds. So we don't know what we don't know. And we realize that the things that we don't know are vast. You know, we may know something about something. We may know what we know or think we know what we know, and then we might know what we don't know. But what we don't know that we don't know is huge, is tremendous.
We're still learning every day. It might seem like we have a lot of information, but I'm still learning every day. Like, pasteurized juice has been heated, so it's not technically raw.
I didn't even know that.
I don't know that either.
Yeah. So doing your own research when it comes to that, and just understanding that it's a feeling state. You know, I understand that I feel a lot different eating a raw soup versus eating a cooked soup. You know, I feel a lot different drinking coconut water versus drinking tap water. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still have a lot of family who drink straight out of the faucet, you know? And so it's just very very interesting when you really weigh the two and you see how different you feel. It's almost a no-brainer for you. You're not going back.
The more you cleanse the body, you'll notice those differences. Like somebody who drinks tap water and doesn't notice the difference, it's because maybe their bodies are already polluted.
Yeah.
So it's not sensing that difference.
So that's their baseline.
But someone like me who's been eating healthier for many years now, I would drink bottled spring water and get a stomach ache.
Yeah.
So it depends where you're at, if it's going to affect you and you're going to feel it. But bottom line is, it's bad. Either way.
Speaking of liquids, you know, it's been years since I stopped drinking soda. I stopped drinking like soda pop and soda drinks like, you know, Cokes and Sprites and stuff like that. You know, once I saw my father pour a Coca-Cola on a car battery and clean off the corrosion from the battery with a toothbrush and some Coca-Cola, I was done. You didn't need to convince me because I watched it with my own eyes. I saw it. And I was like, if that is doing that to this, what is it doing in my body?
You know, my dad is a mechanic, and when I was small, my mom would throw a Coca-Cola in the washing machine to get the grease out of the clothing.
Oh, yeah. So just imagine.
Detergent wouldn't even get the oil and grease out, but a Coca-Cola would.
What does that tell you? Yeah.
Not to mention one of the most harmful things in soda is the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things, you know, Janet is big on reading labels. I'm not as big on reading labels, but I'm starting to get more into it. I'm starting to read more. I'm starting to tell myself more and educate myself more on what is this? Is this organic? Does this contain milk? Does this contain soy? What does this contain inside of it?
GMOs are very important. People will say, oh, that's baloney or that's whatever, but genetically modified things are created in a laboratory, and it's not natural for your body to consume. So it is harmful to your well-being, for your physical body, but most importantly, it alters your DNA. And that's one of the bigger things in this world, that they're putting out all this genetically modified food to corrupt and change our DNA so that we don't come back to ourselves, so we don't remember our power. So
just realize, if they genetically modified this and you put it in your body, it's genetically modifying you.
Exactly.
So it's really that simple, and you can understand that, we really are turning into what we're putting and what we're consuming in our bodies. So
back to what we eat in the day. I like smoothies to start off the day. He can eat earlier in the day. I don't really like eating earlier in the day. So everybody's different, but a lot of soups. I've learned to make soups in the blender. Some people will say, well, how do you even make a raw soup?
Right.
You just throw everything in the blender. And there are lots of recipes online. A lot of them are really simple. They have very minimal ingredients, and it's very affordable.
Very. Yeah.
And super tasty.
Yes.
Super tasty.
Yes.
I love to eat. I love to eat. I love flavor. So he's like, what did you put in here?
Right,
like,
yeah.
All the spices. Spice it up.
Right, right. It doesn't mean that you have to lack flavor. Just because you're eating liquid, it doesn't mean that it has to be bland or that it has to be, there's something that you don't like the taste. You can make it flavorful, make it great for you, and spice it up if you like spicy, make it however you like it, and just understand that, it can be in liquid form, and that's okay.
One of his favorites, and my favorite, is a raw vegan Thai coconut soup.
Woo! Yes.
I remember he says when he's eating it, it's like heaven.
Yes, yeah. I close my eyes when I eat it because I just want to be in the moment.
It's like,
yeah. And I didn't know that a raw soup could taste that good. Like, I didn't know, I had never
You
before.
wouldn't even know it was raw.
Yeah.
And that's the point too. You wouldn't even know that it was raw.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I can't believe it's not cooked. So, you can amaze yourself with getting creative and find creative ways that are very inexpensive. It doesn't have to be expensive, but on the flip side, even if it is a little more expensive than you're used to, wouldn't that be better than the price of having a heart attack, or the price of having your health be below optimum level, the price of going to the hospital for problems that could have been prevented? You know what I mean?
I see people driving really nice cars, like really expensive luxury vehicles, but then they go to the drive-thru of like McDonald's. And it's like you're spending all your money on this vehicle.
What about your vehicle?
Yeah.
Yes.
You might have this car, but then you might, like you said, have a heart attack like next year because of the diet that you're consuming. So what good are all these things that you're spending your money on if you can't really enjoy it because of your health?
Yeah.
So.
And when you become desensitized, you become less sensitive, because the more that we're on this lifestyle of less and less is more, we become more sensitive to our surroundings, more sensitive to our body. We can hear our body, we can feel our body. And when you're on more dense living, you become really numb, you become desensitized, and just like she was saying with the heart attack, you might never feel it coming. You would never know that there's a problem because the body has adjusted to the toxins and the things that you would put into the body to numb it from these forces, that you would never even realize the warning signals until you're already in the hospital. Yeah. So prevention really is the best cure.
This lifestyle, and even a vegan plant-based lifestyle, is all about prevention. One of the important reasons why I went vegan was because I saw, even as a child, that everyone around me was sick. And then I looked at the medical system, and I didn't agree with any of that because I saw that it just slowly declines you even more. So a big part for me was about prevention. Like switching to plant-based diet was all about preventing illness, preventing disease, because if you continue to eat these bad, harmful foods and these chemicals, I don't know, something could happen. So it's just all about prevention.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. This has just been some things that we have chosen to start eating in some things that we find delightful and delicious when you take the time to prepare these meals. And if you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare these meals, there are still meals that you can make that are very quick, very efficient, and very cost effective that will be so conducive for the way of living for you if you choose a life of pranic living.
Thanks guys for watching.
Yes.
Talk to you soon.
Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on another video.